Hey guys, I'm Roger Herring. I'm the Investor's Accountant, and thank you for coming by our YouTube channel. Before you leave today, be sure you hit subscribe and click the bell. That way you won't miss any of our free educational videos. So right now, click subscribe, hit the bell, and a great video is coming your way right now. Hey guys, I'm Roger Herring. I'm the Investor's Accountant. And today, this video is going to be a little longer than normal because we really need to talk. You see, everybody's heard about this multi-trillion dollar bill going through Congress for infrastructure. What a lot of people haven't heard of yet is how they're going to fund the infrastructure bill. Now, nothing political here, okay? I'm just talking straight tax facts. The Ways and Means Committee of the House is where all tax law starts, and they released 2 weeks ago how they're going to fund this infrastructure. And inside that bill, there's good, there's bad, and there's ugly. And today we're going to talk about the ugliest part of the entire bill. And this is an attack on IRAs, and specifically self-directed IRAs. Now, a lot of people have read this area of the bill and they said, well, this only affects the ultra-wealthy. Unfortunately, that's not true. You see, it was written to go after one billionaire that has a Roth IRA with over $1 billion in it. Okay? But we are collateral damage. See, Congress's pen hits a broad stroke, and all of the things they say, well, we're going after this ultra wealthy, but the way they write the laws, they trickle down to us. So let's talk about a couple of provisions. One provision says that you will no longer be able to invest with your IRA in anything that requires a minimum education, a minimum net worth, or other certain requirements. And they call out specifically the accredited investor. Now, some investments require that you be an accredited investor. That means they're a little more risky than others, and they're a little longer term, and they require a large buy-in. So, the people that participate in these have to be accredited investors, which means they have either $1 million net worth, or, if they're married, $300,000 of adjusted gross income for the previous 2 years, with the expectation that it will continue. A single person, that drops down to $200. Okay? So, but Roger, that doesn't affect me. What about crowdfunding? What about investing in friends and family stuff? That's also affected by this. All of a sudden, we're not going to be able to use our IRA funds for crowdfunding. Let's say I want to invest in my buddy's great invention that he's come up with. It would be a private securities offering. Not anymore under this. If I've got money in a savings account, I can invest in it, but I can't put my IRA money into it. That's the deal. Not good. Second provision that we need to talk about. There's a thing called a participation level. Under the current law, I can own 50% of a company that I'm not an officer of, so 50% or less, and I can still invest into it with my IRA. So let's say that I own 40% of a company, a friend of mine owns the other 50%, and he needs 10% more to cover it. Well, my self-directed IRA can provide the other 10%, and I'm good to go under the current law. Under the proposed law, I won't be able to do that unless I own less than 10%. That's right, it's going to drop it from 50 to 10. Now there's another provision. Under current law, I can be an officer of a company and still own, as long as I own 30% or less of the company, I can invest with my IRA into it as well. Under the new proposal, I can't be an officer of anything that my IRA invests in. Well, so you say, well, Roger, that's not a big deal. Are you a real estate investor? Do you have an LLC that is wholly owned by your IRA that you participate in real estate with, that you buy rental properties? Guess what? You're an officer of that LLC the way this law is written. You're no longer going to be able to operate an LLC inside of your IRA. You either have to get out of it or you have to hire somebody to do it. You see, under current law, I can manage that LLC. I can manage my IRA. But what I can't do is I can't take compensation and I can't physically work on the property. That's the way it works. Under the new law, I can't be involved at all, even as a manager. So all of a sudden, if I'm going to invest in rental properties through my IRA, what do I have to do? I either have to hire someone to do it for me, or I have to invest directly from the IRA, and that is a royal pain to do. The reason we use LLCs is so we can have checkbook control. But that's what's going to happen. We're going to lose our abilities to crowdfund, we're going to lose our abilities to do friends and family investing, and we're going to lose our abilities to use our self-directed funds to buy rental property that we manage. This is what's going to happen. Now, you'll notice I've said IRA over and over, and several folks have commented on my Facebook page, well, if it's only an IRA, we'll go to 401k. Here's the problem. The way tax law is always written is the IRS is given free rein to create tax regulations to bring about Congress's intent. Now, how many of you think that the IRS would only go after IRAs? They're going to look at this, oh, Congress meant 401ks too, and 403bs, any type of retirement plan. That's what you can expect to happen. Well, Roger, how do you know that? Well, the IRS, I know how they operate. Remember the payroll protection program? Congress said, oh, here it is, here's free money. It's non-taxable once it's forgiven. Then the IRS came out and said, yes, it's non-taxable, but anything you paid with it, you can't take a deduction for. That was never Congress's intent. It took an act of Congress to change it. So that's where we are, guys. You're now informed. You need to be writing your congressmen, you need to be writing your senators, and you need to raise unholy hell. Until the next time, Roger out.